Welcome to Floating Nifty Podcast. I'm Shiuwen.
And I'm John.
John, welcome back.
Hi.
So remember last episode we talked about tea brewing. The actions of tea brewing is very simple. Water in, wait for it, and pour it out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think because of how simple it is, we become habitual and not knowing why we are doing something regarding to tea brewing. And so last part, we touch on two different styles of water into the teapot. And today, let's do pour the water out, the tea broth out. And you probably notice, just like last time, there are two major styles in the Gongfu tea brewing world.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of people use something like this. You can call it a sharing picture, or in Chinese, they call it Gongdao Bei. And some people don't, right?
Mm-hmm.
Almost half and half, I would say.
Yeah.
Which one do you do?
I do straight into the cups.
Why?
Because I copy what you guys do.
But did you ever use this
I did.
part?
I did. I used the glass pitcher for a long time.
Yeah, me too, actually. For 2005 to 2017.
Mm-hmm.
2017 is the year that a lot of my styles start to change, and my take on tea also do a quite big of a turn. In 2017, I changed a lot of my views on tea. We don't need to go into the story too much. So today, let's just look at, once again, not to prove who is right and who is wrong. Why do we use this? And why do we not to use that? Mm-hmm. See if you can notice your tea changed. But just as simple as that, okay? And today, we're gonna drink a pour.
Yeah, all right.
So somehow, since I specialize in Taiwanese oolong, some people think I dislike pour. Just like I sell tea and some people think I dislike coffee. What's the relationship there? I couldn't see the math, equation at all. Just to be out in the public, I'm a big fan of pour. Okay, good. That's it.
In fact, she has her own stash of it.
Yeah. I have good stash, yeah. So we are going to brew 90s
That's
cocoa.
it. It's almost like for me, I gave up the glass pitcher, I think, before I would have even been able to tell a difference. Does that make sense? It was so early on that I started to copy you that I think it would be interesting if I went back to it like we're going to today, now that I have more experience with tasting tea.
Oh, cool.
Mm.
And we also, in the last episode, we touched on the subject of watching people and learn from people, copy and learn, right? And I did that too. I did that. I learned Tai Chi. I copy my teacher. I imitate the feeling. I imitate the gesture until it become into mine. And yet I know I can never become that person. Mm-hmm. And so with tea, the same. I watch, I observe, and I learn. But to a point when we are more experienced, that's why it's called a practice. If tea and anything else in life is like you just start it and you know how to do it and then that's the end of it, I don't call that a practice because there's nothing to practice on, or with. A practice means something is gonna improve, change and improve, right? So let's see if we can notice maybe the first two infusions, I'm going to put it into a decanter.
Okay.
And then the next two infusions, I'm going to pour the tea liquid directly into the cup.
Okay.
Who is that guy? For those who are not watching, there was a little plastic creature just crawled onto my tea table.
They're still gonna be like, what's going on?
And the cat is gonna fight back. So if you are just listening, just ignore this part. It doesn't make any sense at all. How many times did you also see this?
I see that a lot where they just set it on the
They
thing
just set
and
it
let
on the sharing picture. Today the pot might be a bit too big
Yeah.
for the sharing picture. And I actually used to do that
Like
too.
set it on there and
Just
let
set
it
it on there
pour
and
out,
just
yeah.
let it pour out on by itself. I would suggest you not to do that if you still like to use a sharing picture. I feel like when I do that, I'm not conscious of, I'm not connected to my tea anymore. I just
Yeah.
just do it yourself, man.
Yeah. Right.
That's kind of mean.
Yeah. It does look cool though.
Yeah.
It looks cool.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Good photo op. That's all it does.
It's kind of like the Marlon Brando of tea pouring techniques.
Yeah.
What is that?
Like rebellious, I don't care, you know?
Right. Rebellious, yeah.
Just do it yourself. See if you like this cook pour, show pour.
Mm.
Good tea though.
Oh yeah, wow.
Wow,
I don't know what to say about this tea.
John is sometimes it's a very good thing.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, that's good.
That is a big tea.
Very powerful tea. And yet very grounded, not like screaming kind of a power.
Yeah.
It just floats into your body and fills your body.
Mm-hmm.
I actually also want to do a session on oolong tea and pu'er tea
That would
together.
be really interesting for me. Oh yeah, this tea is really, really going for me.
It feel in your body?
Yeah.
Good.
Whew. It'll be hard for me to comment on the glass pitcher until I've tasted
Yeah.
the without the glass pitcher.
Yeah. That's the whole point, is to notice the difference. And when you watch different styles of people doing tea brewing, then you can copy it by all means. Copy it and then pick one that actually not just visually makes sense to you, like, oh, that's more pretty, maybe also, but actually, why do you choose to do that way? Why do I choose to do waterfall style rather than whirlpool style when I pour the hot water in? Why do I choose boiling hot water? Why do I choose not to use a sharing picture anymore? When I use it, I actually had a really wonderful reason. I want people to have the same cup of tea.
Right.
yeah, I want people to have the same experience. Yeah, I think that was a really good reason.
That's a nice thing. Yeah, that's a nice thought.
You know, I
That's why they call it the fairness cup.
Yeah,
or
that's
fairness
right. Yeah,
pitcher.
Gongdao Bei, Gongdao, yeah.
This tea's taking me for a ride already.
Already? Oh. Later I'll make it drive a sport car.
Look at the color of that. Whew.
So poor, really
Yeah.
beautiful.
Oh boy. So it's significantly darker in the broth, this second one.
Strong tea, huh?
Yeah.
Like totally physical.
Totally super physical, yeah. In the body and in the mouth. Oh wow. That's really...
Where are you feeling the tea?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Whew.
Woo. So kind of just whatever you are feeling and whatever you are sensing the tea in your mouth, especially the texture part of it, just do a snapshot and just
Yeah.
look at it that way. And then the next infusion, I'm gonna decant the tea directly into the cup without a sharing picture of
Okay.
Gongdao Bei.
I feel this tea all over my body. Like all over.
Yeah, I mean, being able to drink it with you guys, that's good.
It is, yeah. It's nice. It feels good that you're here.
It feels good that I'm here with you.
Yeah, good. I'm glad we're all feeling good about all of this.
You see, like pool can get people a little bit.
We're all just like, I love you, Noah. I love you guys.
Yeah, poor tea is a little bit strange that way. It's
Yeah.
almost emotional.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's called aqua tea giving.
Thank you.
You notice things change already from even the smelling?
Even the scent, yeah. Oh yeah.
Care to say what changed? I mean, the scent, this poor tea scent, but
Yeah, the scent is the scent. I just want to say that it's like more like it's going more into my nose or something, or like I'm not sure how to explain it. It's almost like it's like thicker or something in my nose. It's probably not the right word, but
You just use the word thicker. That's excellent. That's one thing that changed for you. Yeah. And well, I'm gonna influence you a little bit now. Since you keep moving your hand when you are describing the scent, do you know what I feel more in this cup of scent? More vibration.
Interesting.
Oh, John is going crazy now.
Yeah, I'm going crazy.
What makes you laugh?
Oh yeah, I mean it's similar in the when you drink the tea. It's a similar feeling of just like,
There's something.
yeah, I'm not sure what.
Yeah. But sometimes when we have a new experience, it's really hard to put it in words, and yet your body language actually try to express what you are feeling in your mouth, because for sure, I don't know how to say this.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
People, you gotta watch this. This is what we are feeling in our scent and in our mouth. The hand just keep moving.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think texturally it's different too. I just don't know how to describe how it's different.
No problem.
It's definitely different.
Let's do the next infusion, and maybe Noah can talk about his experience with these two different styles.
Oh yeah.
And my experience with these two different styles
Cool.
of decanter or no decanter. But something for sure changed,
Yeah,
right?
something is definitely different.
Yeah.
This is all new territory for me because I guess for the listeners, I should say I really don't drink pu'er on my own. I only drink it here in the shop when either Shiuwen or Noah brews it for me. I really don't do any at home. So this is all new and exciting for me.
Why don't you do pour at home?
I just feel like I have so much that I need to focus on with oolong that it feels like too much.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's
I'm just trying to focus on the one
really
thing,
good.
you
That's
know?
really good. And the moment when you have a lot of experience with one type of tea, and when you step into the next one, it becomes much faster and easier. Yeah.
It's also in the past when I've tried to brew it pu'er, I feel like out of control. It feels like the tea is out of control, and it feels like that makes me out of control. And it's dramatically different when you guys brew it for me here. I don't feel that kind of feeling.
Okay, cool.
Which is good.
And it's really good that you actually notice that. I don't know how many times I repeat this. When you notice something, that's the beginning of the journey. I have to admit, brewing pu'er is not very easy for me personally. Just like your experience with that Tie Guan Yin tea, the good and the bad have a dramatically different result. Not like some oolong for me, it's like, the chart is more like, I am not too sick.
Right.
I'm not dying yet. But pu'er is more like, wow, it's really good. Wow, I really destroyed this tea, huh? Wow. I feel really bad now.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oof. Wow.
Oh. I haven't even taken a sip yet.
I know the smell is
just-
really interesting. Not the smell, the feeling of the scent is wow.
Oh man.
The texture feel different.
I feel the vibrations in my mouth.
Oh, good.
I really do. I really do.
Wow.
Whew, this tea is really amazing.
It's really strong. Whoa, even the scent, the kind of scent, like this infusion particularly, like scent, like I start to shiver just a
Yeah.
little bit in a nice way, I was like, wow. I'm gonna put some more hot water
Wow.
in there, and then we can talk about the two different decanting. Maybe Noah can elaborate.
So, as asked to speak, I find that the two decanting methods, when you pour directly into the cup, overall I feel there's more definition in the tea. And the definition shows up everywhere, but particularly I notice it in the base range. Like the roots of the tea become extended and more clear, and that gives it a feeling of connection, so that there's always, you can definitely affect the way that the tea shows up in your body by brewing in different ways, but it's more like emotionally. Like if you're nervous and you're brewing, the tea is going to have more of an uncomfortable feeling. When you're calm and you're brewing, it has more ability to show up how it wants to. But it's always going to have a certain kind of a presence. But when you combine this technique with that feeling, the pouring directly into the cups as opposed to the Gongdao Bei, it gives the broth in the mouth roots that are deeper, and it connects with the feeling in the body more to me. That's what I notice. Thank you for sharing
That's
your
helpful.
chair.
That's helpful.
Back to John.
Yeah, that was helpful. That was a helpful way to describe it. I'm just feeling this tea. I'm just really feeling it. It's like, it's commanding me. Like it's like I'm so focused on the tea that it's almost like I'm not even able to do the like focus on the podcast part of this, because this tea is just like, wow. It's like there's so much going on that it's just like taking me somewhere, you know?
Pour tea, when it's good, it's really big.
Yeah.
Yeah, and very interesting. You use the word command.
Yeah.
It's okay not be able to describe. Not be able to describe doesn't mean you don't know. For example, as simple as a taste of a tea. How do I describe the taste of this pour? I don't know. But do I know where this pour is going? Can I say this is a very good pour? Yes. Would it make me like not knowing that how to describe the taste of this pour is bad? It tastes like a pour to me. you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not to like constant on this kind of a subject. Sometimes not be able to describe, and yet internally you actually know it is still no.
Yeah.
I just couldn't find words, and then that's I think that's okay. And
It's
that's
just like, it's such an experience,
yeah,
this
that's
tea.
totally fine. And then maybe I will put the tea in here again and see if they can bring I'll pour tea out to the Gongdao Bei sharing picture again and see if you can feel the direct difference. And the next infusion, I'm gonna do it directly into the cup. And either you capture what Noah is saying or not, the root or not, that's also okay. Someday it might happen. For me, a very direct difference comes on two parts. there is more vibration for me, not just on the scent, also on the physical sense, on the mouth. Second will be actually direct in the mouth. I think Noah told me before that without a decanter direct into the cup, he feel the broth is more beefy. Am I correct?
Maybe, yeah.
And for me, the direct contrast of these two decanting methods with let's do it then. With a decanter sharing picture, Gongdao Bei. Water in here because I'm gonna brew this one. This liquid is for me, it's like a part of water. It is a part of water. It's a water, and it's one. It's one water. Like one body of water. Okay? Like not as much vibration, and not as much definition. It's one body of water in my mouth. And is it really good? It's really good. It's smooth. There's that structure. But it's one body of water to me. Okay? And then let's see the next decanting.
I think I'm getting a feeling like with this one that there's almost like a veil in between the tea, me and the tea almost. Does that make sense? Like there's something kind of like, like a veil basically, because it's like it's there, but there's like you can tell that there's like something like stopping, not quite stopping it, but kind of like, veil is loose, like, but there's still something in between right now.
It's like you're watching a really good video on YouTube, and then the definition goes really low.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's a good.
Wow.
Sardines.
I know what you ate for lunch, John.
Yeah, what are the thoughts on the
Teriyaki chicken.
A foreign food object.
bad vibes?
So, for those of you who are just listening, I was just smelling their empty cup, basically.
She's smelling our souls.
No, I was trying to smell your lunch, man.
Oh, that's disgusting.
I'm always curious of what people are eating. I love eating.
Me too. What did I have? Pizza. I had pizza.
You had pizza?
Yeah.
I couldn't smell that. Fail again
Fail.
next time. I'm gonna really know what you were eating for lunch. It's gonna be good.
Thank you.
The scent is feeling.
Yeah.
The scent is the scent of this poor tea. But the feeling of the scent is different. And I think before I use vibration, feels that there's more vibration. And then you use your hand was like waving also. And then feel the texture of the body, the part of the water that I call it. It's so hard to describe because it's no longer just that body of water. It feels like there's something more to it. And maybe it's a, sometimes I don't like to do this, but my teacher did it to me anyway. So I'm going to do that to you. We were creating layers in the broth. Did you see the layers now? There's layers in the broth. It's no longer one body. It's layers of body, of tea liquid inside of your mouth.
Yeah, I feel like I'm having an upper level and now a lower level also.
Oh, good. So you see the root.
Yeah, I think, yeah. And it's like an electricity or something, like I don't know, an energy of some kind.
So decanting, just like, as I said before, brewing tea is actually a really simple action. Put the leaves in a pot or gaiwan, pour hot water in it, that's 1. Wait, that's 2. Decant the liquid, tea broth, 3. Drink, 4. So we touch on 1 and 3 on the one on the previous episode. This one on the action 3, decanting. Action number 2 is extremely difficult. That's called waiting for it.
Yeah.
But as you can see, it's so simple. The impact, when you can notice it, is actually quite big. Okay? And then because it's this big, it becomes very fun if you are conscious what you chose and why you choose to do it. And sometimes you're just in a mood to play. For example, how about, which you see this quite often in they call it Chaozhou style, is you actually connect the cups rather than separate. The cups are not touching each other. It's actually you connect them. And then you still don't use a sharing picture. And we're not gonna drink this one. This doesn't really have strength, but I just want to show it to people. Is the decanter? The decanting will be this way, still direct into the cup and yet connected. I have a teacher only do this way, and he actually said, don't do the separating decanting style. He said it will break the liquid. I try both, and I still do both. And most of the time, I actually separate the decanting. And I chose this way. And man, do I break my liquid. For a long time, I did. I did. But I see the two different teachers' difference in the result. I chose to continue to break the liquid. There's some teas that I actually would choose to do. I call this the running style. I did my own invention. Like this is not official way to call it. Okay, I just whatever. I just come up with the name. Running style, dabbing style, dab. Like you are dabbing something. Dab. One teacher seemed to think dabbing style break the liquid, break the structure of the liquid. Your choice. As I say, you want to call it right or wrong, that's also your choice. But sometimes when we define something right or wrong, it stops us from going forward and it hurt our feelings. And when it hurts so much, you don't want to do it anymore. So I would say, try different methods, but be conscious. Be conscious of why you chose that method and why do you enjoy it. And then when you settle down with a method for, let's say, the next 2 years, which is quite a long time, don't make it become unconscious again. Today the weather is really nice. I ate pizza for lunch. If you chose this style, that's great. If you chose this style, please stay with it. That's all I ask. It really shows the difference. Okay, I'm sound like a mom now, so I have to leave. Good tea?
Cool. Fantastic tea.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing, Noah. That's it.
All right.
Happy tea drinking at home. Keep practicing.
All right. See you next time.
See you. Yay.